Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. Another busy day. Today we'll talk Bulldog Hockey. We'll check in with the Ferris State men's basketball team, and we'll talk with the Ferris State volleyball team. First up, head coach Bob Daniels with Ferris State Hockey. And Coach, welcome back to the show.
Rob, thanks for having me.
Bulldogs this past weekend, a battle of ranked teams at the Aveglaven Ice Arena. You got a big win on Friday night, 5-1 over Lake Superior, and then Saturday, the two teams battled to a 1-1 overtime draw, and unfortunately lost the shootout. But talk about the weekend as a whole.
Sure. No, I would grade the weekend as a whole as a success. The way it works is 3 points you get as a team for a win, and then you get 1 point for a tie, and then the extra point for an overtime or a shootout loss or shootout win to get the extra point. And for us, basically 6 points on the line this weekend. We took 4 points, so that's a successful weekend. Would have liked to have won both games, I'm sure, but Lake Superior, boy, what a nice team they have too. Both of us were in the top 10 of the country coming into it. Lake State was #1 in our league. So I thought it was a really good weekend of hockey. I was very pleased with how we played. Would have liked, like I mentioned before, seen us win both games, but nevertheless, it was still a success.
You start off with Friday night's game, and we go to the highlights of Friday night's game. Bulldogs get 5 goals from 5 different individuals. Lake Superior scored first, but you guys came right back and were able to put 5 goals together in the game.
Yeah, you know what? We started off slow in this game. In the first period, I think Lake Superior State had really the better of the chances, and Taylor Nelson, what a nice night he had. He kept us in. You can see they scored the first goal there. But then Taylor really, I thought, did an outstanding job of keeping them at 1 goal until we had a chance to get the equalizer and score ourselves. And by the time we hit the third period, I really thought we had the better of the play. We slowly started to take the game over. And then with a 2-goal lead in the midway part of the third period, we forced Lake Superior State to start gambling and take some chances. And at that point, then we're able to take advantage of their aggressiveness.
You had a 35-33 edge in shots for the night. Neither team able to capitalize on the power play, but fortunately, you guys were able to put the goal or the puck in the net.
Well, you know what? There's two different things in terms of our special teams. Number one, our penalty kill. We didn't allow a goal on the weekend. And I believe they had 14 power plays overall. And so for us to do that, the second night of the series, they had 9 power plays. We only gave 1 shot on net. So you could see our penalty kills outstanding. The bad news is our power play didn't score any goals on the weekend either. And now that's 5 games in a row I think we've gone without a power play goal. And earlier in the year, we were scoring an awful lot of our goals on the power play. So, we've got our work cut out for us. We've got things we've got to get better at. I'm glad to see us score 6 goals, even strength on the weekend, but we've really got to do something about the power play, because if we don't get that going, it's very difficult to win hockey games.
Taylor Nilsson stopped 32 shots for you on Friday night and had another good game.
Yeah, Taylor has, and I think that was his 3rd straight win. In all these games, he's allowing 1 goal, maybe 2 max. So when we play in front of him, we have an awful lot of confidence. And then the next night, in the 1-1 tie, we had C.J. Mott return to action, and obviously just gave up 1 goal himself. So I don't think he was quite as tested as Taylor was, but nevertheless, he played a very good game.
You talk about Saturday's game. You battled to the 1-1 overtime draw. What were some of the differences between Friday night and Saturday night?
Well, one of the things I was really disappointed in our own team on Friday night, or on Saturday rather, was the number of penalties. In the third period, a period in which I believe we outshot Lake Superior State 11-2, in that period, though, we were shorthanded for almost 8 minutes. And even though we killed off all those power plays, that's 8 less minutes of attack time we had. And just the way we were playing and the opportunities we were getting to score, give us those 8 minutes and allow us to play 5-on-5. I think we have a really good chance of winning this game in regulation. And that was kind of the theme of our players today. One, we can't continue to count on our penalty kill to be as good as it has been. And 2, we need that time to try to score goals. And we're kind of unique in that we use some of our top players in the penalty kill. Travis Willett kills for us. And in the third period, I think I had him on the ice for 5 minutes of penalty kill time, and that's time that he can't be out there as our leading scorer trying to get the game winner. So what we're seeing right now in the highlights is the shootout at the end of the game. I think it's a fan favorite. As far as I'm concerned, I like it when we win, and when we don't win, I don't like it. So it all depends on how we do it. They scored on their very first attempt, and then CJ did a good job of shutting them down. And this is our last chance here. Good save by the Lake Superior State goalie, and they get the extra point with the shootout win. Lake Superior State's goalie had a good game as well. You had a big shot advantage, 33-17, but just couldn't put another one in. Yeah, we did, and once again, you know, I thought we played a very strong game, and if we could have just eliminated some of the unnecessary penalties, I would have liked our chance of winning that regulation. But you know, at the end of the day, we played two really strong games against a very good opponent, Lake Superior State. And, you know, we're hoping to carry that momentum forward on a long trip we have this coming weekend. Right now, you're currently right at the top of the CCHA standings, along with Lake Superior, as you moved into a tie for first place on Friday night before they won the shootout. But you got to be pretty happy with where you're at in the standings at this point of the season. Yeah, the standings are really tight, but, you know, here we are 1 point out of first place. We've got a lot of teams all around us. Notre Dame, Western Michigan, Lake State are all 1 point ahead of us. And then right behind us, we've got Ohio State, a slew of teams. So, you know, 1 weekend can make a big difference. But overall, though, we're 9-2-1 to start the year. I'm very happy with where we're at. This week, a long trip, your longest one of the season. You travel to Alaska, and always a difficult test to go on the road to Alaska. It is. It's hard to win there. There's a combination of a variety of factors that come into play. One, the 4-hour time change. Beyond the distance of travel and how far we have to go, it's that 4-hour time change, and then also the fact that they play an Olympic sheet there. So, you know, it's a bigger ice surface. The time change really affects us and the distance of the travel. And then you top it off with the fact that even though they've struggled so far this year, they have a very good hockey team. They really do. They were predicted to be in the top 4, and they still may be when the year ends. So we've got our work cut out for us this weekend. And it is a difficult place to play on the road as well, as the fans really get behind their team in Alaska. Yeah, they do. They draw very well, probably average about 4,000 fans a night. They're very vocal. They're very into it. They love their Nanook hockey there. It's a great atmosphere to play in, though. As a player, you always, and as a coach, you always enjoy participating in games where there's a big crowd base there and that they're very vocal. Fortunately, a long road trip, but when you get back, you have a chance to rest up for a week before you return to conference action. Yeah, it's good. Well, after next week, we'll play 14 games, 7 straight weekends. We need a week off, and it just happens to coincide with Thanksgiving, which is a great opportunity. So we'll come back. It's not as though in past years when we've come back from Alaska, we've had to hurry up and get ready for another weekend series. Now we'll be able to take our time, give the guys a few days off, let them catch up with their studies, and then get prepared for the games leading up to Christmas break. And as you start conference play, this is your only home game in November this past weekend, but you'll be back at home in December. Yeah, we do. We have 2 series in December, one with Western Michigan, one with Notre Dame. Both of those are home-and-home series where we'll play Friday night, let's say, at Kalamazoo, and then Saturday back in Big Rapids. So, you know, that's easy travel. Those will be great games, and looking forward to concluding conference play this first half of the year. Well, Coach, thanks for being with us, and safe travels to Alaska. Thanks, Rob. We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.